What is up, YouTube people? It's your boy Patty McNinja, and I honestly did not expect to be putting out another video this week, but we got this insane gameplay trailer a few days ago, and it's sparking a lot of debate within the gaming community. So I, of course, felt like I needed to put in my 2 cents. So without further ado, let's rock. The trailer I'm referring to is for a game called Unrecord, which there isn't a ton of information right now for this game. It's obviously still in pretty early development. It is described as a body cam first-person shooter developed in Unreal Engine 5 by a very indie studio, which I had never heard of, called Drama Studios. And there's a reason I had never heard of them. It's because, from what I understand, from all the information I was able to find, Drama Studios, this is their first game. And I mentioned this game is sparking a debate amongst the gaming community. The reason for that is apparently it looks so good, it looks so real that people are claiming it has to be fake. But before we get into whether or not I think it's fake, we should probably actually watch it. So let's get into it. So right off the bat, I get why people were freaking out about this trailer. It looks incredible. I love that music. It kind of gives you a horror vibe. I don't know if you can hear it all that well. Obviously, they're not going for horror with this game. It's more like a thriller, but it definitely has horror vibe with the music. And the sound design is awesome. I don't know if you can hear it. Maybe it's just because I have headphones on and I can hear it a little bit better. But when he was running, you could like hear the air hit the microphone on his body cam, which I think is awesome. I love little stuff like that. And again, it just looks incredible. So that makes me a little uncomfortable seeing somebody rendered so hyper realistic getting shot so close. I mean, I play violent video games all the time, but none that look this hyper realistic. I will say that I do like the stylistic choice of blurring out their face, because if you've ever seen real body cam footage, they usually blur out the faces, which I appreciate. Was that supposed to be a drone? What was that? It kind of sounded like a bumblebee after I just literally talked about how the sound design looks or sounds amazing. They had like this bumblebee drone that was a little weird. It might be surprising considering that I personally have only fired a gun like 3 times in my life, but I have this weird thing with first-person shooter. I doubt I'm the only one that does this, but I nitpick the reload animations when I play first-person shooters, and I appreciate we've seen this person reload this gun like 1,000,000 times already in this like 1.5-minute trailer, and the reload animation looks awesome. So I definitely appreciate that.
Where the fuck is Oscar?
That little bit where he fell down didn't look amazing, especially relatively speaking to the rest of the trailer, how good that looked. Him falling down looked a little goofy. I totally get why this gameplay trailer is catching fire. It looks incredible. The sound design, music, the use of lighting was just top notch. I will say the voice acting could use a little work. Maybe the actor gets a couple more takes at it, but it's still early in development. There's definitely some stuff that they could improve upon for sure. And like I said earlier, people are freaking out about this gameplay trailer. They're saying it's too good to be true. It looks too real. It has to be fake. I actually think it's kind of funny because the reactions to Unrecord remind me a lot, for completely different reasons, mind you. They're kind of on the opposite ends of the spectrum to the reactions to the gameplay trailer that we just got for the day before, which I also did a trailer reaction on this channel that you can check out if you want to. Now, of course, The day before, people were freaking out because it looked so bad and it looked completely different from all the other gameplay footage that we had gotten previous, so people thought it was fake. Now, Unrecord just is on the opposite end of the spectrum. People think it looks too good that it has to be fake. So obviously, you would rather be Unrecord than the day before, but I just think it's funny that the reactions are pretty similar, but just for different reasons. And me personally, I think that there's enough evidence in that gameplay trailer to suggest it's actual gameplay, especially that guy falling at the end. It doesn't look bad, it just doesn't look as hyper realistic as the rest of the trailer. But the talk about this game being fake got so loud that the developers actually had to tweet out a pseudo frequently asked questions, and the number 1 thing on that list was, is this game a scam? And I'm paraphrasing, but their point was basically, what's the point? Why would we fake this? And that's kind of where I'm at as well. I would understand if this was a crowdfunded game. If they threw this video out on Kickstarter and was like, here's our game, look how cool it is, give us money. My alarm for bullshit would be going off real loud. And I guess they could still technically do that, and I would be a lot more suspicious. I would definitely lean towards the camp of this might be fake. And of course, they could still use this video to entice new investors. But if it turns out to be fake, I'm no lawyer, so please don't sue me, but that seems like it would be textbook fraud. And if that were the case, they would just be prosecuted accordingly. So as far as we're concerned, there's no harm there. And again, I kind of go back to what's the point? Because if you take this gameplay trailer on face value and just assume that it's real, eventually the game has to come out. So if they did fake it, the game is eventually going to come out. Like, what's the purpose? If a game comes out a year or 2 down the road and it doesn't look as good as this, people aren't going to buy it. If it looks like dog shit compared to the gameplay trailer we just got, nobody's going to buy it. So what's the point? And while certainly I'm impressed with how technically superior that gameplay trailer was to most gameplay trailers that we get and how hyper realistic Unrecord looks so far, I'm not sure if it's necessarily a game I'm gonna want to play, because just watching that trailer made me uncomfortable. Which is funny because I am a guy that plays a lot of violent video games. I just talked about my experience playing Dead Island 2 recently, and that's obviously a very violent video game. It's a very gory video game. And I certainly like to be immersed in video games as much as the next person, but there's always that little voice in the back of my head that tells me that it's a video game and that it's not real. And I think that Unrecord takes the immersion to a whole new level. And this is still in early development. Imagine what this video game is gonna look like a year or 2 from now. It already looks like a live leak video. So just imagine how hyper realistic it's gonna look like in a year or 2. So call me a soy boy if you want. I actually think that term's really funny, but I'm the guy that catches spiders in paper towels and lets them outside instead of killing them. So the idea of shooting somebody in a first-person shooter that looks so hyper realistic makes me extremely uncomfortable. But as always, those are just my thoughts. I'd love to hear yours in the comments down below. What'd you think of the gameplay trailer? Are you one that thinks it's fake? And if you do think it's fake, tell me what the point of it is. Please let me understand that in the comments down below. Of course, if you made it this far, you obviously enjoyed the video. Smash that like button, as the kids say. Consider subscribing. And if you do subscribe, ding that bell. That way you get notified every time I post a video. I post weekly gaming related content. I will be doing a full review for Jedi Survivor next week, so definitely be on the lookout for that. And a good way to make sure you don't miss it is subscribing and dinging that bell. But until next time, take it easy. What's up, YouTube people? It's your boy Patty McNinja, and this is my boy Yoshi, aka Kitty Boy. And we were just talking, and we agree that since you made it this far in the video, you might as well subscribe. You wouldn't want to disappoint Kitty Boy, would you?